Hello, I'm Keith Carson on the Board of Supervisors here in Alameda County and also chair of the East Bay Economic Development Alliance. I would like to say congratulations to all of the 2018 Innovation Award winners. You represent the very best for 2018 in innovation in the East Bay. Now let us hear your stories.
What Chirp Microsystems does is we make ultrasonic sensors using a technology called microelectromechanical systems, or MEMS. MEMS is the technology that enables motion sensing in your phone, so the thing that lets you play gaming and do things like Pokemon Go. Those are based on little micromechanical sensors. What we're doing at Chirp is we're applying that same technology to ultrasonic sensors.
Impossible Foods is focused on transforming the global food system. In short, we make meat from plants. We discovered what makes meat taste good, and we were able to replicate and extract that same molecule from plants. And today, with our first product, which is a burger, it bleeds, it feels like a burger in your mouth, and it's quite delicious.
About 5 years ago, I was asked to go out and look for ways of creating smart jobs at the Concord Naval Weapons Station. And so Momentum Station was born. It's the largest test bed in the United States. It's about a fifth the size of San Francisco. And now there are numerous tech companies like Honda, Uber, and others that are testing their autonomous and connected vehicles on a daily basis there. So the idea is, as a magnet, try to lure some of these tech companies to build office space where the smart people live and try to make sure that the jobs are available so they don't have to drive as far. And what we're trying to do is entice them up to the East Bay, and they can see that they can afford a house. Their house actually has a backyard and they can raise their families there. And then they have access to the very talented workforce that reside in the East Bay.
Velodyne makes LiDAR, which is the spinning mechanism that goes on top of cars. Nowadays, sometimes they're integrated on the side mirrors of cars. But what it does is it allows the car to see in 3D and make decisions so that it can drive autonomously. We have just recently put out a LiDAR 128. You can see further out down the road to see road debris and higher resolution.
So Path City, we're here to essentially create an engine for innovation for small to medium-sized cities, starting with the East Bay. Basically, our vision is to create cross-sector incubators that connect education, industry, government, and community together to propel us all towards the future of our city. So our first cross-sector incubator is our workforce incubators. That's funded by Alameda County Office of Education. And that's to basically build career pathways towards high growth industries for young people by actually having in-classroom project-based learning experiences with high-tech employers.
Thermax specializes in temperature-related solutions. We make the heater plates that go into the tools that actually lay down the circuits on silicon. The process of making chips smaller involves making those circuits smaller, and the temperature control requirements become more stringent, and new materials and new processes are required to continue to progress. It's a never-ending process of trying to find new, better ways to do it.
And I'm with Reflection Medical. And Reflection is developing an entirely new approach to treating cancer. We've all got a cancer story. Whether cancer has affected us directly or family member or close friend, we've all got that story. And oftentimes radiation therapy plays a key role in that story. And I think it's often surprising to most people to realize that the biggest challenge is actually targeting, identifying, and tracking tumors as they move throughout your body. And what Reflection does is we actually track the disease itself. And we've enabled a technology that allows our device to actually sense the tumors in real time and identify the location of that disease, removing probably the biggest obstacle to using radiation therapy safely and effectively from a meaningful workflow perspective.
The name of the business is Smart Wires. We develop devices that go up on the transmission grid to control the power flow. And with our devices, it becomes quite simple. A remote control for the asset operators. We've been in Union City for 2 years now, and the facility that we found was wonderful. It was big enough for the expansion needs that we had, and we found the environment to be, really welcoming. One of the big draws is resources, including the people, the innovators. That is a huge reason why we launched here. The infrastructure is wonderful in terms of convenience and cost of living, so quality of life is better in the East Bay for our employees.
The proximity of the East Bay to technology, to the outdoors, shores to certainly ports and international airports is a benefit for us. We do find it in the type of people that come to work in our organization.
It's a good place to find a balance between living and working. It has a lot of good complementary industries that help to support advanced manufacturing, and you're working with semiconductor type companies.
So San Leandro is now taking this kind of not social justice lens, but a social impact lens. So the East Bay is a potentially transformative place and really the next step for building the entire ecosystem of innovation.
Well, the East Bay is a wonderful place to live if you're interested in the arts and music scene, because there's so many schools here and colleges and events and galleries and nightclubs with jazz. It is a happening place, and I'm proud to live here, and I love it here.
You know, when I think about being out there in a very competitive space, trying to recruit literally the top talent in the world to work on this innovation platform that we have, being in the East Bay really helps that cause. When they look at our site and they realize that they don't have to cross another bridge to get where they want to go, that matters.
The East Bay is very culturally unique, and I think even from people visiting from other countries that they find that the East Bay is quite a unique and interesting place. We have our own unique character that is different from the rest of the country.
The East Bay is growth friendly.
The East Bay is the coolest area of the Bay Area.
There's a lot of creativity and development going on. People actually trying to build things and create things.
The weather is world class. It just doesn't get any better.
What I love about living in the Bay Area the most is that there's somebody from every country in the world that lives here, and the East Bay is reflective of that diversity.